when you see a lot of people dying, you see a lot of gruesome things in nursing, it does make you hard in an extent. You've got a different approach in life and different outlook in life from what other people have. And my own family tell me I'm very hard.
Do they?
Because if they're ill, I just really I haven't got sympathy I have sympathy for them, but I keep saying, oh, you've only got a headache, you've only got a flu, well, don't worry, you'll be all right. And I just, like, they will go comfort one another and talk to one another about it, and I say, oh, I don't want to know about illness.
See that you're sitting on the bedpan, darling, if you want to do anything down there.
The lady behind the screen there has just vomited up almost 2 pints of fresh blood. And we're just basically running in and out, putting up a drip and that sort of thing, getting some fluids into her to compensate for what she's vomiting until the blood's available, until the blood's ready for her. And in the meantime, she's settled down now, she's stopped being sick. And obviously we have to stay with her the whole time because you have to watch, because if she was to have a big bleed, she would just pass clean out. And we have to check that she doesn't inhale any of it and that sort of thing.
I think nursing is a job that you come, to a certain extent, completely obsessed by it. I mean, not only do you spend long hours at work, but even when you're at home, you end up by talking about the job, or if you go out, you find the fact that we work shift work. Our friends have all got to do with the job. So you're continuously talking about it. You go out and you say, right, you're going to the pub. That's it, we're not talking about it. Inevitably there comes the fact that, oh, what did Mrs. So-and-so scan, or whatever, you know?
And what is it that obsesses you? What is that thing that obsesses you?
I don't know what it is. I couldn't describe it.
Not when you stay in nursing a long while. I mean, we've both been nursing a good few years. You seem to get hooked. It's like how a drug addict must feel, you know. And some sort of dependence. I don't know.
I mean, it's the job where I would never, ever advise anyone to take up nursing. But at the same time, I don't think I'd be able to give it up myself.
This hospital is particularly known for recruiting Irish nurses. I was interviewed in Ireland, as it happens. There was a matron here at one time that was Irish, and I think that probably stemmed a great deal of it. It's very, very difficult to get into nursing in Ireland. Nurses, there are so few, I mean, there are quite a number of hospitals, but there are so many Irish girls going for it. In Ireland, nursing is a much, much higher status than it has here. Over here, I think you're about second lowest from the bottom. Whereas at home, if you've got someone in the family who's a nurse or a priest, you're made.
Well, that's all right. It's only when it gets greater than 20.
Sometimes going up, you know.
Sometimes up, sometimes low.
Then I have thinking they're going higher.
And you have what?
Thinking.
What's worrying you? What's the matter? Do you not want to go home the weekend? You do? Yeah?
Because children go to school now in
a couple of weeks.
Only 1 week time.
She'll still be able to go home at the weekend, won't she? Won't she? You'll soon be discharged for good. Come on. Maybe you don't want to go home at all the weekend, do you, promise?
I don't know.
Do you want to stay?
No, I'll go home.
Do you want to stay in? Are you sure? Are we that bad? Are we that bad? Huh?
No, I'm going home.
You're going home?
There's a Mushtak 40-year-old lady with pulmonary TB and congestive cardiac failure. You probably don't know, but her husband went to Pakistan a couple of weeks ago. We don't know how long he's staying there for. Dr. Glick's coming in Monday morning. And then she wants to go home for the day on Tuesday because it's the second part of the Christmas festival, whatever. So as long as Dr. Glick says OK, we hope to let her back home for Tuesday.
What, let her back home Monday or wait until Tuesday?
She can go home Monday, hopefully, Monday afternoon, and come stay at home Tuesday. She has been extremely ill, and she's actually on the mend now, at the moment. How long she'll stay that way, I don't know. So she does tend to get rather tearful. And the only way we can keep her in hospital is by letting her go home at the weekends. And then she comes back on Monday, stays till Friday, because we want to supervise her treatment, because she had quite severe pulmonary TB. And she was also in very severe congestive cardiac failure. She's also an insulin-dependent diabetic. So that's the way we compromise with her, and that's the way it's worked for the last 3 weeks.
Bed 6 is Lillian King. She's 85, under Dr. Glick. Came in with depression and neglect, and she's for rehabilitation. Her husband died 2 months ago. She had a comfortable morning, she had a wash, and she's sitting out of bed.
They've just looked at her ECGs and everything. She's had quite an extensive myocardial infarction, of which she had no chest pain, absolutely nothing. But that probably caused that acute confusion that she had when she thought that she had someone break into the kitchen. So they want to keep her until after the holiday and she can go home next Thursday. She keeps asking, am I definitely going home Thursday? I think she thinks we're not going to let her home now we've got her in here. Her and her husband were married for 60 years. And she really does miss him, something terrible. And she was saying how they had a big celebration on their anniversary. And she's never touched the cake. She doesn't like to cut it, because after that he became ill and died over on B3.
Yeah, right.
That's what they tell me
Isn't it?
not really doing properly. I tried to cry on it. I started to cry on it anyway. They told me that. Carry on. It's completely God bless. Oh, we'll come back to church soon. See you in office. Thanks for coming. All right, son. Oh, bless you. Okay.
Wait, I see. I won't be able to see you next week. Because, no, I'm going into retreat, unfortunately, and Father Niall is going to be away. So, if you want a priest or anyone to see it, ask for Father Paul.
Yeah.
You know Father Paul, don't you?
I don't know.
Do you not? No, you can't
Where are we going? No, if we do straight it, we find it easier.
Yes.
All right, lovely. Right, my lovely, we're just going to lift you onto the bed.
All right.
Okay, sweetheart? Okay. Right, 1, 2. That's it. Good. Lovely. Thanks, Sam. All right, sweetheart. That wasn't too bad, was it? No. So what's been happening over the last few days? Is she just gone downhill or?
Yes, she refused to drink or eat. So she says occasionally she takes a drink, but not really drinking.
And
or
she's
eating.
constipated?
Yeah.
Has she got a family?
Yes, he got husband and daughter.
And they're aware of her transfer to us? Lovely. Okay. Thanks very much. I'd like to work in a bank, I think. I always did like to want to work in a bank or a shop. It fascinates me. Shopkeepers fascinates me.
What fascinates you about
I don't know, because I think they're packing shelves and just working on a till all day long. They don't seem to have any worry as such.
Which you think you have in nursing?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I think you get a lot of responsibility very young in nursing. It makes you grow up very quickly. You could do miss out on some things, I think, in life. You seem to be more serious towards things. You know, you don't want to go wild. You won't go out and go wild every night because, you know, you have to get up in the morning to go in and look after a ward of 28 patients and responsible for another 5 or 6 nurses with you.
I think actually it's best if you're over here more, actually.
Sorry. Right, I'm going to put you on your side, Alan, all right?
So you want us here?
Well, I think all the action's going to be...
Right, if you just go over on your side for me, darling, please, all right? Sorry, Pet. I'm going to move your legs up.
Yes, you saw it.
Just turn on your side just to...
Probably over there.
But, well, see how you get on, but...
Sorry, sweetheart.
Should... Sorry,
Can you talk more?
will you be able to get any more flexed at all, do you think?
Right.
Possibly a little bit further down this way.
What do you mean? You want it further down the bed?
Yes, because we haven't got much room up that end, have we? Do you want some help?
That's right. How's that? Sorry, yeah.
Right, let's just kind of...
Sorry, darling.
Rest your head on the pillow, right?
Rest your head and you just relax, sweetheart, all right? Doctor's going to put a little needle into your spine just to get some fluid out, all right?
Yeah.
Just a special test to do, okay?
Twist the head. Sometimes that causes the cyst.
I'll be all right. You got any pain?
Do you want some bread? No, thank you. Just
Want an egg?
No, I think. What you having? Hot milk? Pardon? Hot milk. Sugar?
Yes, please.
Nobody came out of saying none.
Do you want soap on your face?
No.
No.
I don't want my beauty spoiled.
You don't want your beauty spoiled? Oh my God.
It's been spoiled many a long year ago.
Go hear that. Plenty of it left. What?
God.
Are you calling me again?
No. I don't think.
He was in the army. Oh, a long while before we got married. To save up.
Yeah.
But the years pass so quickly, don't they? Especially happy years.
Yeah. They always go the quickest.
They go the quickest, don't they?
Hair in your eyes.
Well, I've been here nearly a week, haven't I? I don't think... I mean, they wouldn't gain anything by lying, would they?
Oh, no, they wouldn't lie to you.
No.
Doctors wouldn't lie to you.
He said I'm going home.
Do you
you?
Good.
Why did this come down?
Well, it's wait for the blood to come in.
Peculiarities with the blood. Right. You all right then?
Oh, yeah, fine, thanks. I'm okay.
Will you telly on? And there's Adelaide Reynolds. She's a 55-year-old lady who originally came into us. She's known mitral valve disease, and she originally came into us with anemia, and we transfused her 3 units of blood. Then she had she was supposed to go down to have a D&C done and have some teeth done the same time under the same anaesthetic. Because of her mitral valve disease, they only wanted to give her one anaesthetic. And on a routine checked X-ray, they noticed that she had a shadowing on the left side of her lung. They cancelled the operation, took her down for bronchoscopy, and it showed the biopsies, and more or less they could see a tumour there. But the biopsy results have been inconclusive. Her husband has been told that she possibly has got cancer of the lung, but nothing has been said to her. She was told that they saw some sort of a growth there, but the word cancer has not been mentioned to her. She's a very nice lady. She's had diarrhea overnight a couple of times. We've taken a specimen and sent it off.
Mrs. Reynolds, I'm not really looking after you, but you belong to Dr. Partridge. But since Dr. Partridge has been on holiday, Dr. Osmond has been asking me if he'll help with this problem of finding out exactly what you've got in your lung, you see. Now, the first test that you had, that telescope test, you didn't enjoy that, did you?
No, it's terrible.
Terrible, was it? Well, in actual fact, it showed that in the tubes of the left lung, there was some blood clot, yeah? And that blood clot prevented Dr. Osmond from getting samples, which actually would determine what form of treatment is best for the lung. So I would suggest to you, since Dr. Partridge is not coming back for another week, that we do it again, the telescope test, and perhaps on this occasion Dr. Osmond will give you a little more in the syringe to prepare you for it. And under those circumstances you would be much nearer sleep and you wouldn't really know very much about it. And then he could get proper samples and make sure that we know exactly what there is in the lung. Okay? So we'll do it on Thursday, shall we?
Yes, well, so, yeah.
I think that's the best thing. All right? Is your breathing now better since you had the...
Good night last night.
You had a good night. Did you pass a lot of water?
Very good. Best night I've ever had since I've been here.
Fine, well, that's good. Well, I think that's probably the best ploy, but when you're in, make sure you get a lot of stuff. Yeah. Hello, Mrs. King.
Hello.
I'm surprised to see you. I thought you were going to go home.
So did I.
But...
I'm very disappointed.
Yes.
But I'm going, aren't I?
Yes, yes. You had a heart attack, you see?
Yes.
And funnily enough, your heart attack didn't cause any pain. It just caused you to become a little confused and a little bit unstable on your legs.
Yes. But you want to go home?
As soon as you can make the arrangements with Sister and your neighbour, just to make sure that we have them come and fetch you and that you've got your tablets, your medication to take with you.
Yes, yes, I understand.
Okay. What's she on, Miriam?
Phenol and...
Nothing very much. Methyl dopa. You've got enough to give her of that. Okay.
Try a bit more. Is that better?
We've got an elderly patient on the ward who's had some chemotherapy. She's over 85. And, well, just as nurses, we don't feel it's appropriate in a woman of her age.
Does it cause suffering?
She was so dreadfully sick when Mary was on yesterday evening. She just had projectile vomiting all over the floor, all over the ward, all over her bed, you know. And she's a sensible old girl, you know, and it was sad at her age to see her go through something like that. And this morning she's completely knocked out, she's sleepy and just feels wretched, you know. And one questions
What do you think should happen?
I mean, if she's got some sort of malignant disease, which she has, at that age, we've got to get something, haven't we, you know? I don't know, I can't understand the full thinking behind this, you know? I mean, it may work...
Chemotherapy.
I think so. I think so. I don't think they should give it to you, Mary.
I don't. I personally don't.
I mean, I would do everything the doctors say. I would, you know, administer whatever drugs they say. I wouldn't not do something, you know. But I cannot accept the thinking behind it.
The vomiting yesterday was terrible. It really was.
I mean, at 90, she's going to die of something. I mean, she could have a heart attack tomorrow, you know, and have a nice, peaceful passing. But to put her through this, it just seems very unfair. It's bad enough young people having chemotherapy. It's distressing enough for them and the hair falling out and everything else, let alone when you're that age, you know.
Do you think if the doctors had to do the nursing, they might feel differently about some of these
If they had to clear up all the vomit, they might
they
think
would.
twice about it.
Hello, Mrs. Bushback. Every time I see you, you look better. Do you feel better?
Yes, I thank you.
Yes? How is the family at home?
It's all right now.
They're all right? And are you eating at home?
Yes,
Does your daughter test for the diabetes, for the sugar?
yes, it's...
She does test.
Yes.
What does she test with? What does she use?
That sticks
She uses the sticks. And does she tell you how much there is on the sticks?
going high last night.
High.
Yes, and they
Uh-huh.
put me insulin again, you know,
Yes.
in 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Does she give you a special diet, or do you eat anything same as the family? Tell me the truth.
I eat same as family.
Same as the family. So really, she's not keeping a diet. And I think from the point of view of her current illness, I'd rather she stayed high than we made her low with insulin or anything of that sort. You see, your eyes are not yellow anymore. Did you look in the mirror?
I'm not looking.
You're not looking in the mirror. No. Yeah.
I'm afraid that it...
That will go away.
Yeah.
We are stopping slowly stopping the tablets that made you fat like that. And when those tablets are finished, then slowly the fatness will go away and you'll be the same lady like you used to be before. Yes?
Yeah.
All right?
I don't like that. When I look in, they are fat and I'm scared.
We have no way of expressing ourselves, you know, other than talking to each other. There's no group here to deal with stress. And I mean, there's a hell of a lot of stress in the job. You're under the stress sometimes the best part of the day, you know. I think they're one of the things that...
So do you work well as a team?
Yes, yes, yes. I think it's fair to say we've got a good team here. Not just because we're friends, because, I mean, we only came together working here. We didn't know each other before we all worked on the ward. I mean, I didn't know Miriam before she came to this ward. We both came to this ward at the same time. She came here as a staff nurse, I came here as a sister. You know, and...
And do you see each other outside working hours?
Yes, we do, yes. Not a lot, but once a week, that sort of thing. I think you've got to be careful you don't see too much of each other outside work, you know.
So when something upsetting happens on the ward, what would you do when you say you turn to each other?
We'd come in here and have a cup of tea.
Go and sit forward now.
That's it.
Yeah, if you could keep...
I'll hold him. Enough. Sit you up and have some dinner. Okay.
Fish and chips. Fish and chips. How do you fancy that?
Okay. Nice.
We get our tea. Keep on the table. Right, ready?
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
What's
Now,
that?
darling.
Are you a year old?
Am I a year old? Oh, I wish I was.
That's all she is.
Only me. My daughter was born. Her first birthday was when Mum was
January.
Was it?
Yes.
Right. Are you warm enough? Do you want the window closed?
No, no.
Do you like to breathe?
My end of the year was dead.
I don't feel any hospital ward is a good place to end your days. I think you should die in your own bed in your own home. And I would ensure that any of my family have that, if I can do nothing else for them. Like, some of the people you see in here and we say, look, we can do no more. I've never known anybody turn around and say, well, I'd like to take Mum home to die at home, ever.
Why not?
People are too frightened of death.
I think just frightening. I think people are just frightened of death. And then there's after death, you know, there's the sort of laying out and that sort of thing, which a lot of people just can't cope with if it's somebody close to them. I mean, a lot of people just can't, if their relatives have died, they don't even want to look at them. They can't look at them.
You told me how people die in Ireland once, and you thought it was a nicer way to die. Could you
It's
just...
much nicer, because the family get together and they're normally laid out in their front room or something like that. Also, in the system here in the hospital, we have to put on a plastic gown on them. Tried to make a little bit better by this white ruffle, which doesn't make much difference at all, basically. And at home, you lay them out in their, if they're a man, in their best suit, or if they're young, say in their wedding dress or their favourite costume. And, of course, it's much more religious. They clasp the hands with their rosary beads. And all the family are there, the sons and the daughters and the neighbours come in, and everybody helps out, and people are allowed to show their grief.
You get fluid in your legs, and you get fluid in your lungs as well. And also TB can cause fluid as well.
How does it all go away then?
Well, we had to take it away with the needle. It won't go away otherwise.
Much crying.
Much crying? Not much crying. Get out of it. You have to squeeze the smile out of her sometimes when she's in a bad mood.
She never used to be like that, you know. She was much happier.
She's all right now.
But she's much better now than what she was.
Well, she used to be right misery sometimes.
Sometimes crying, sometimes happy. And,
she's a bit of everything, isn't she?
She's all right. She's my favourite.
yeah.
Oh, you had this done before, didn't you?
Yes, 2 times.
2 times, yes. So you know that the first injection is the worst bit. Yeah? And if you want to cough, I want you to let me know, okay? Because when the needle's in, it's very important that you don't cough without letting us know. All right? And if you feel any pain, let us know as well.
You feel funny at all, just sit in that chair. Because sometimes it can make you feel a bit like Got enough there, Cliff?
I'm telling you, that you can't as well. You couldn't get, could you? You couldn't get everything else. Too many things. Try to start with it's easier to start up with a green. Right. Did you laugh? You're only going to jump on it. I think two. It's all right. Right. You want right. You want to have it with her. How old is she? She looks about 16, 17.
Big one, she's 19 and some month, 7 months old.
One's 19, one's 17, is it? What's the other one?
11-year-old boy.
11-year-old boy? And you just wanted 3, did you? Hmm? Were you glad you had a boy?
Aspirate and inject. And then keep on going deeper. You can't possibly do any harm with an orange needle, so that's right, just keep pressing away.
That's all right.
Oh my God.
It's all right.
Just blow it out. Probably resulting. Mind you, it's good all this is coming off and it's not really distressing her. She's much better than she was when I've done it with her before, actually.
Yeah.
Probably Claire's gentle touch. It's the same bit, keeps rebounding around. It's not a different one.
Good.
I think probably for someone of Mrs. Mushtaq's size, a litre would be enough anyway, so, you know, if you can fill the jug all well and good, and then we'll just stop.
Right. Yes. Okay? And Bibi's just talking to the doctor.
Eh?
Bibi is just talking to the doctor.
Is she?
Yep. So she'll come in and see you in a minute.
Oh, she's here.
She's here. All right?
Thank you.
So stay sitting until Bibi gets here.
All right, darling.
Okay.
That's what I always have a good trick with the sailors love a green bit.
Good of you to come out. It's nothing. Good of you to come out.
You all ready?
Yeah.
You got everything to book?
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yes, so the doctor. Okay, stay there. You want me to put it down? Yeah, it's a bit high.
I'm healthy now.
You're healthy now. Breathing will be much better for the weekend.
Yeah.
Much better for the weekend. Georgie, stop it, go there. Whoops. You'll be on the floor next. There you go. Right, you go. Up you go.
That's all right.
You're all right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. You warm enough?
Warm enough.
Right. Do you want a cup of tea or anything?
No, thank you.
You sure?
Yes.
Right, you go.
Is it all right? Take the lights off, Sam. Yes? Thanks.
Hiya.
Hello. It's about 2 o'clock, isn't it?
Yes, you're going to see to me now.
Yeah, I'll
You've all
sort it,
been
don't worry.
lovely, all
I'll
of
sort
you.
it, don't worry.
Okay.
Morning. Morning, May. How's May this morning? You can't find your husband? He's at home. Yeah. He's at home. You're in hospital.
Nearly there. Don't stomp back down on me. That's it. Oh. Good girl. Oh. Good. I'm back in a minute.
Well, she phones back. I mean, she's obviously not going to phone back now. She's not going to phone back now.
She isn't.
I'll keep an eye on her later, her obs again, in case she sort of sits there and talk, and I'll come back and tap her.
Right, sorry,
okay.
Dave, can you ask Joy, the agency nurse, can you ask her to do her pulse and blood pressure, please?
On Adelaide, yeah.
Yeah, she's in the blue.
Thanks.
Why were you two upset this morning?
Well, when we come on, one of the patients had had a very bad night, been awake all night. And the night staff, I don't think, because they were agency girls, even though they were good and caring, didn't fully appreciate how anxious she was, because they didn't know her, you know? And we went out this morning, and the first thing she said, Mary went up to her and she said that she was dying, and could we call the family? She know, you know, she sort of said, I know I'm dying. And what else did she say to you?
She says, I'm so frightened, I'm dying. It's just upset. I just got upset because, you know, she's such a nice woman always.
You know,
she really talks about herself, never a problem. She never says, oh, everything you do for, oh, I'm sorry. Such a nuisance. She says, I'm very frightened, I'm dying, and I know I'm dying, I'm dying all night. It's just the way she said it, and she just really, I really felt choked.
Does she in fact know what's wrong with her?
No. Well, we don't, I mean, she hasn't said to us. I'm sure she suspects something is going on. But, she just said, I'm with my husband now. And she said, I'm so frightened, don't leave me. She just needed someone to sit and talk to her and reassure her more than anything. I just sat with her and just called her husband up. And when he came, she was much better, I think.
Did he come at once?
Yes, he did.
Getting choked just sitting there.
It's just when you're getting to know someone so well, and then when, you know, when people say they're dying and they're afraid, it's something you can say. I couldn't say to her this morning, you're not dying. But I said, oh, you know, no, silly, you're not dying now. But I didn't know what to say. I just felt so inadequate there and then first thing this morning. I mean, you deal with people. I mean, very seldom people say to you, I'm dying. I mean, usually people don't know they're dying. I mean, I've very rarely come across that. But this morning, it's just the way she said it, and she's such, I don't know, she's such a lovely lady. She appreciates everything you do for her, and she never moans, and the family are so good, and I think she just had such a rotten night. She hadn't slept a wink, and she could hardly breathe when we came on, could she? She was so frightened. It must be terrible, I think, not be able to get your breath and able to breathe.
Do you think she should be told what's wrong with her?
It's very difficult to say.
I don't know if she'd cope with it that well.
Some people can't cope with things like that. Then she was saying that her husband was going down Petticoat Lane this morning to get some flowers to put on his mother's grave at his brother, and she was crying, and she says, oh, maybe it'll be my grave, the next thing they'll be putting flowers on. And I said, oh, Adelaide, don't talk like that. But I think, in that sense, I feel very inadequate when people talk like that, because I don't know what to say to them.
outside, please. Sorry.
Is she got a cold? Yes. No, can we just carry on then? We've got the association. Does anyone know this patient at all?
Another one. Sorry, what was it? I've only given him 5. I spilled half. Here's the 5 minutes.
And she's going to be with from tomorrow, but maybe I did doctor. Monitor.
Okay, we're okay.
Lovely.
You're on suction.
Go suction. This morning.
Sorry.
There was a problem with staff because there was only 3 nurses on the wards, and they were already dealing with one emergency situation when the other incident occurred, when the patient's heart had stopped. And they were stretched, I think, beyond any limit that you can expect from any individual. I mean, there was 2 excellent trained staff on who did everything they possibly could, and the resuscitation team were extremely quick and did everything they could. But I mean, those 2 girls came off that ward at 10:30 at night, shattered. And besides the fact they were extremely upset by the incident, they didn't have any time to even sit back and think about the whole thing because there was so much to be done. And it was a patient that we all thought a lot of. And, you know, they just didn't have a chance to even talk about it amongst themselves. I mean, I know Aileen went off and cried her eyes out.
The chances are that Adelaide was going to die anyway. You know, I mean, but we had the other patient over there with 2 blood transfusions going. Neither myself nor the other staff nurse even got over to see her, to see was her blood pressure, her pulse, was she vomiting up blood or anything. I'd say for easily 20 minutes. You know what I mean? It's very bad, like.
The nurses will work extra hard to cover, but it's whether they get the quality of care that they should get. Standards certainly fall, and people don't get the quality that they should get, that you would like your mother to get if it was your mother in the bed. That's what you really got to look at them, and you don't think of them just as patients. You think of, if it was your mother lying there, would you like her neglected for that length of time?
You know, and it was just sort of, everything happened at like such a bad time, really, and everything, you know, with visitors there and, you know, the family and everything, you know. Especially when we had known Adelaide for such a long time, like, you know, I mean,
she was a lovely woman.
It was sad. But I mean, her chance of survival was very slim anyway, you know. But as I say, you never know from one minute of the day to the next what's going to happen.
$24 in the morning, 32 in the evening.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
And we'll see you Monday morning. Look at the face now. Monday morning. Fizz.
I'll bring her in before 10, okay?
Yeah, he'll be here about 10.
Right.
And I should think, with any luck, if he says okay, she could go even Monday. Yeah. We'll see what he says on Monday. But she can go out Tuesday for Christmas.
Okay.
And if her legs fell up again or get short,
Don't worry.
Straight back.
Straight back.
I'll bring her back.
See you
Bye,
later.
Yvonne. Have a nice weekend.
Much better this week.
Yeah. Will she be able to make it down to the car?
Yeah.
Sure.
She will
You
be
just
all
stand at the
right.
bottom.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you Monday.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Nice weekend.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.